everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies. And today, we got ourselves yet another My Little Pony analysis video, because we're taking a look at the main six and their connection to the elements of harmony. This is the third analysis video that I've made of this series, so if you haven't watched those other two analysis videos, you don't really need to in order to understand this video. But if you like to check it out, it'll be up in the bubble right now. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your favorite member of the main six. And before we even get started with this video, we gotta take a look at the origin of the elements of harmony themselves. So the elements of harmony originally came from the Tree of Harmony, which was planted a millennium ago thanks to the Pillars of Equestria led by Starswirl the Bearded. And those six elements are magic, generosity, loyalty, laughter, honesty, and kindness, and are represented by the show's main characters known as the main six. So now let's go ahead and dive into each of the main six and their element of harmony that they represent. Alright, so let's go ahead and start things off with talking about my favorite member of the main six, Twilight Sparkle, and the element of magic. Now, what is the element of magic? It is when all of the elements form together and create a very strong bond connecting your friends together. And Twilight was definitely the one who brought the main six together in the first place because of Nightmare Moon. And the rest is history. Now, like I said before, Twilight is my favorite member of the main six. She used to be my favorite character out of the entire series, that is until I saw season 5 and witnessed Starlight Glimmer. I mean, she essentially starts off the series as a loner, preferring to read books and learn about magic, to where it leads to the end of the series where she eventually becomes the ruler of Equestria. And I know some of you guys are gonna disagree with this, but I actually like Twilight becoming an alicorn. Granted, she did accidentally swap her friend's cutie marks in the process, but overall, it's a decision that I really like, and it's why I kinda prefer Alicorn Twilight over Unicorn Twilight. Now yes, in season 2, she did become kinda crazy because she was afraid of being tardy and getting sent back to Magic Kindergarten. But it was also the same season that she suspected that one of her longtime friends is not who she really seems. And believe it or not, she was correct, as in that episode, Cadence was actually Queen Chrysalis in disguise, and taking the place of the real Cadence. She also gave some second chances to some previous villains like Starlight Glimmer, Sunset Shimmer, and Princess Luna. And we gotta talk about the Equestria Girls variant of this character, Twi. Now, I used to hate this character just because I felt like they really shoehorned the regular Twilight that went to this human world. But later I realized they're essentially the same character. And Twi really isn't a center focus of the Equestria Girls story. I mean, the only time when she was the primary focus of Equestria Girls was when she became Midnight Sparkle and gained telekinesis powers and dealing with the aftermath of nearly destroying the multiverse. But really, overall, Twilight Sparkle was definitely a great character and definitely embodied the element of magic. Alright, let's now move on to the next part of this video, talking about Rainbow Dash and the element of loyalty. Now, the element of loyalty is described to be sticking by your loved ones during hard times, but very rewarding. And the way that Rainbow Dash proved to be very loyal was in the series premiere when she was confronted by a one-time character group known as the Shadow Bolts, and was offered to join their group, but she flat out rejects them. But generally on to my thoughts on Rainbow Dash herself, I think she's an awesome character. Like, one thing that makes Rainbow Dash unique compared to the other characters in the show is that her mane is rainbow colored, and that's a pretty cool touch that they added to this character. She's also synonymous with using the line 20% cooler, which I think is a quote referenced in the Brony fandom. She hates reading, with the exception being Daring Do books, where she even had an adventure with Daring Do, like the legitimate Daring Do herself. She even has a pet tortoise named Tank, and even was the one responsible for giving her friends their cutie marks thanks to that eventful Sonic Rain Boom, which is a canon event to this universe. But most importantly, she aspires and dreams of becoming a Wonderbolt, which is like this air stunt show type group. And like halfway into the series, she eventually achieves her dream and becomes a full-on Wonderbolt. But now going ahead and shifting gears into talking about her Equestria Girls variant, she's essentially this athletic student at Canterlot High, which perfectly fits the Rainbow Dash character. And in the 2014 movie Rainbow Rocks, it's revealed that she was the one who started the Rain Booms band. And she has a huge fear of roller coasters. Well, that's something Rainbow Dash and I have in common. And during season 2 of the Better Together digital series, Rainbow Dash does have a song in that series titled Run to Break Free, and not only is it dope, but it also sounds like it would be a song that would play in the Miles Morales game, at least in my opinion. And it is because of Rainbow Dash, more specifically Ashley Ball, the voice actress of Rainbow Dash, was replacing Colleen for the Netflix series Sonic Prime as Tails, and I wanted to see if Ashley would do a great job as Tails, and that's the origin of how I essentially became a brony. But generally overall, Rainbow Dash is such an awesome character, but also remains very loyal to her friends, perfectly representing the element of loyalty. Now let's go ahead and talk about the character of Pinkie Pie and the element of laughter. Now, a quick background on the element of laughter. It's essentially where you get together with your friends and have fun with each other. And Pinkie Pie perfectly represents that element because she is constantly throwing parties for her friends. That's how she even got her cutie mark, by throwing a party for her family who were sad in the rock farm. But honestly, like, Pinkie Pie is such a crazy character in the show. Like, she is completely random. Like, you don't even know what you're gonna expect from her. Like, in season 3, she made a bunch of clones of herself through this magical lake. Some of them may still be out there in Equestria. Not to mention that she also got a hold of Discord's chaos magic. She also has confetti cannons, but honestly the craziest part of Pinkie Pie is that she somehow has a multiversal hive mind. Like in the first Equestria Girls movie, Pinkie Pie knows exactly what happened in the human world, even though she did not go there with Twilight. Oh, and another crazy thing to mention with Pinkie Pie, she is related to the Apple family, as she's a cousin to Applejack. And all of that just makes Pinkie Pie such a likable character in the series. Same goes for her Equestria Girls variant as well. Like, she's essentially still the same Pinkie Pie that we all know and love, but just in a more human form. Like, she has a superpower ability from her geode where she can have sprinkles explode. Like, that is pretty crazy in my opinion. She still also has her multiversal hive mind link that the pony version of Pinkie Pie has. And she also has a holiday tradition with Rarity as revealed in one of the shorts from the Holidays Unwrapped special. But really, for the Equestria Girls version of Pinkie Pie, I don't have much to say about her. Like, I could say the same things that I said about the pony version of Pinkie Pie and apply it towards the Equestria Girls version of that character. But regardless, Pinkie Pie's essence is essentially making others happy and enjoy themselves, which is where the element of laughter really shines in the character of Pinkie Pie. Now let's go ahead and move on and talking about Rarity and the element of generosity. Taking a look at the element of generosity, it is described as giving without expecting anything in return. And Rarity definitely fits that. I mean, she had a whole song in season 4 dedicated to her generosity towards other ponies in Manhattan. She even cut off her own tail and gave it to a sea dragon-like creature. But as for my thoughts on Rarity, I do think that she's like a top 5 favorite character of the entire series. I mean, for one, as a fashion designer, she has made some pretty cool outfits throughout the entire series. Like the ones that you see on screen are like my favorite outfits that Rarity has worn throughout the entire series. And as for her Equestria Girls variant, she had a lot more cool outfits. Like, I genuinely think that she pulled off the punk rock outfit very well. But aside from her style, there are genuinely like a lot of funny moments that Rarity has done throughout the entire series. I mean, we were about to get a whole Cinderella recreation. That is before Rarity destroys that glass shoe. Not to mention that she is like the biggest drama queen that we've ever gotten in terms of our TV media. Like, she had some freakouts for like some very minor things. Also in season 4 when she tries to use like forming tools, it's funny because she doesn't even know how to use them properly. But now going ahead and talking about her Equestria Girls variant, it's essentially the same character but humanized. Like, the only time she's really like a central character was in the special roller coaster of friendship. And speaking of that, I don't care what you all say, Rarity to me is canon in the Equestria Girls franchise. Really, the only other time Rarity was like a big character in the Equestria Girls franchise was when she had her own short or music video. But that version of the character is still very enjoyable, like she still has her usual freakouts. And like I mentioned before, the Equestria Girls version of Rarity does have some amazing outfits that I've shown earlier. Like, taking a look at the other variants of the main 6, I feel like that Rarity for the Equestria Girls variants is like the best one that we've gotten out of the 6. But generally, overall, looking at the character of Rarity, both from Friendship is Magic and Equestria Girls, she's like one of the best characters that we've gotten in the entire series and perfectly embodies the element that she represents. Now let's go ahead and move on to everyone's favorite former pony, Applejack, and the element of honesty. Now, the element of honesty is basically you telling the truth and basically other people can trust you. And well, if you've seen the show, then you know that at one point during Applejack's life, she was a bit of a liar. But she has become now a fully honest pony. But as for the character of Applejack, she does rank towards the bottom of my ranking of the main 6, but she's still a good character nonetheless. I mean, her home is essentially an apple orchard and a farm, and her entire family is apple related. And a bit off topic, but Honeycrisp apples, unpopular opinion, but they're the best apples that ever existed. And what's even cooler is that Pinkie Pie is a cousin of Applejack, and she essentially became Rarity after Rarity became Applejack. If you're confused on what I'm talking about, then watch the season 4 episode, Simple Ways. Also not to mention that she also has a long history with the Flim and Flam brothers, who I'm surprised isn't even in prison after all the scams that they've done. But now jumping ahead to her Equestria Girls variant, like, just like with the other, she really isn't that much of a central character in the series. The only time where she essentially is a central character is in the special roller coaster of friendship. Again, Rarity should be canon. But there's some other aspects of the Equestria Girls Applejack that I really like. But I mean, for one, her geode power is essentially super strength. She has a short from the Better Together digital series where she redesigns an entire bedroom. She is also seasick as revealed in the Spring Breakdown special. But honestly, the best part of Applejack is that she flat out roasted Rarity towards the end of the short makeup shake-up. And that's gotta be like the most unhinged thing this franchise has ever done. But at the end of the day, if you really need an honest opinion on something, go to Applejack, because she perfectly embodies the element of honesty and will be 100% honest all the time. Finally, let's go ahead and move on and talk about Fluttershy and the element of kindness. Now, the element of kindness is when you show compassion towards someone and treating them with respect and care. And I think Fluttershy perfectly fits the element of kindness and is the best representation of that element of harmony. I mean, she opened a whole animal shelter for all of her animal friends. But as for the character of Fluttershy, she's basically like this shy girl, and, I could kind of relate to that. Like, she's this introverted type of pony and is more comfortable being with her animal friends like her rabbit Angel. Not to mention, she's the one that helped Discord become a good guy. Plus, also not to mention that she also became a vampire once. She would have fit right on in with Nicolas Cage and Bill Skarsgård. And she also has this technique that she uses with her animals called the stare, which is essentially where she stares directly into an animal's soul. And yeah, that does end up working. But now moving on to her Equestria Girls variant, just like with the others, she doesn't really have a main center spotlight in any of the specials or movies. The only time Fluttershy is really an essential character is when we get some of the shorts. But I will say Fluttershy did make a very big risk at going to Canterlot High and sneaking in her animal friends. Like, that is something wild that happened in the first Equestria Girls movie. She's still at times an introverted person, and has one of the most accurate geode abilities in terms of her Equestria Girl and Pony variant, where she's able to communicate with animals, something that the Pony version of Fluttershy can do. But like in terms of the Equestria Girls variant, there isn't really much I can say about this version of Fluttershy because we don't really get a main-centered focus Fluttershy movie or special. But at the end of the day, she is like the perfect candidate to represent the element of kindness. And that will do it for this video. This is a group of characters that I very much enjoy and love seeing them whenever they appear in the series. And I just love seeing where they ended up in the series finale. Be sure to stay tuned on my channel because the next time I talk about My Little Pony, it will be for my reviews of the Equestria Girls quadrilogy. But until then, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your favorite member of the main six. And I will see you in the next video, and have a great day.